Hey guys, Dylan from Geek Duo here, and today I'll be bringing you my reaction to The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 2, titled Through the Valley. As Abby weighs her options, Jackson Hole prepares for a brewing storm amid growing reports of infected. Now, this episode was meant to come out last week, but during my stream, the morning of last Tuesday, my shoulder was playing up. So I took a painkiller, and that absolutely conked me out for the entire afternoon. So I wasn't able to get this out on time. And then I didn't record for the rest of the week. So this is day 2 of my double feature week to catch up on all the shows that are live. So 12 hours after this releases, episode 3 will be coming out. And yeah, then it's back to normal next week. But I wasn't able to stay unspoiled relating this episode, in that I know that the big event happens in this episode. It's unsurprising. Like, it was always going to happen towards the start of the season. I just wasn't sure whether it was going to be this episode or next one. So it's not really that big of a spoiler, especially considering I already know what it is. But anyway, let's see how the episode builds to that, because I'm assuming that's going to be the ending. Now let's get this started in 3, 2, 1, go. There we go. Also, this is pretty much the only thing that I know from the game, is what happens in this episode. So, going in essentially blind for the rest of it. Just like how in the last one, I knew about the hospital scene at the end. I knew about the DLC with Ellie's with Riley and that, but I didn't know the rest of it, or at least most of the rest of it. Flashing back 5 years. This is a dream sequence. It's a very interesting way to start this. As soon as it had the weird tilt when she turned back to look at her other self, before even showing her other self, I could tell it wasn't really happening. No, it's quite a little bigger than expected. Including the people you're hunting and his brother. I got you there, Abby. I wonder what his plan's going to be. I have a feeling it's not going to be a good plan. That's why he's so hesitant to even mention its beginnings. You're from Salt Lake City and have been living in Seattle. Would Jackson really be that different than what they used to? They'll go back to bed. No, I just said she kissed me. He's he's messing with you. Yeah, that is scary. is fair, are you? I wonder why she want to speak to Ali. I love how they immediately call out the guy who did it. Why? Because it's so open, or because you've got traps laid up? It's a little different. So I did watch a breakdown for the first episode. Apparently, this in the game happened before we actually saw the dance. So it didn't know what Seth was apologizing for. At least I think that's how it was explained. And also, he wasn't there. So afterwards, she shoves the sandwich off to him and calls it a bigot sandwich or something along those lines. I don't know if that's anger or cold that was making her grimace like that. I just realized I don't have my subtitles on. Ah, there's too much interference. Yeah, I feel like this isn't exactly a weather you want to be out in. Oh, it's got to be a little awkward. Even though he knew about Dina and liking Ali, that's why he said that he thinks there's a reason they won't get back together, and he already knew about the kiss and that. It'd still be a little awkward, these two locked in the snowstorm. You know, staying with your horses? Why is there a 7-Eleven full of weed? It would have drone lamps. This would be how he was getting buds year round. Even with the firelight? Firelight. Firelight's the one in arcade. Why did he have to though? Like apparently that wasn't a thing in the game. Eugene was just dead and barely mentioned. Whee. So has the storm not met this place yet, or is this slightly out of sync? And four. Great job. And you managed to lose your gun. That's this is a trap. It's exactly what they mentioned at the start. How does she get out of? That's a lot more than 30. Like, a lot more. Please tell me that did not just get her straight into Jackson. Like, surely they have better security than that. This is just some other compound. Yeah, I can definitely see how this would be. Oh, I'm not sure whether this would be like a quick time event or um, it'd be like the going through the pipes and evading detection in the start of season one when they were escaping the quarantine zone. How ironic. Hmm, interesting. I thought, huh, I thought that Abby and that were going to get into Jackson, and then in the chaos um, of the infected horde and that, they'd be able to get through to Joel. But taking Joel and Dina up to the lodge is. Yeah. Honestly, a Very interesting design. I wouldn't really do that at the moment. Are they going to notice the infected routes? Yes, yes, they are. Hmm. Problem is, they're not there anymore. Nor do I know. So nice for there to not be a snowstorm during the wide shot. Oh great, there was another lot. Why are they all converging? They're all heading back to Jackson. Baxon. Maybe stop by with the guy who was trying to tell you something. Is that for like hot coals or something? They did have barrels, so maybe burning oil, but they're in a wood fort, so that may not be it. This I was not expecting this episode to go this hard. Like I was expecting maybe one thing. Like I said, I expected it to be that they the horde hit Jackson and somehow Abby and that were able to get in, and that was where the episode ended. And then the next episode was like the horde attack and um, Abby's group trying to find Joel, but no. Well, that's concerning. So it's not for sending down burning oil, it's for sending down explosives, I guess. Yep, that's gas. I would have probably more gone with Molotovs over torches, but oh, this episode's only like half done. Where are they going? That's that's a bloater. Tommy. That would be why they say keep off Main Street. It's not that they have traps or anything, it's that they've armed it to the teeth. Really? Isn't your job just hold the line? If you couldn't do it, why not get a shooting position? Oh, that's an issue. What did he just set on fire? He's gonna chuck someone up there, isn't he? That's what I thought. You're gonna want to save your fire for the big guy. I would say maybe for better tower defense. Once you've got everyone into position, remove the bridges. Tommy, surely you could have climbed that. You're an able-bodied man. The fact that this guy was Ghost Rider and he's using fire to take out a bloater is pretty fitting. It is not doing anything. I would have thought fire would be super effective against my. Is it Myconid? Hmm. And maybe empty a clip into it just to be sure. Even though that didn't really prove effective coming from a rifle, so I don't know what a handgun would do. The problem is, with the whole getting to the basements and that, what exactly is that going to do? Because if the town gets overrun, then, well, they're just going to be there and those kids are just going to be trapped. I do wonder how this is going to go down. Interesting. It's Joe. this way they can talk candidly without um seeing and learning the truth. No fireflies left. Ever since someone took out our main base. Oh, in the back of the hand is a really painful place to get a needle. Well, that's quick acting. Well, yeah, you matched the description perfectly. You're not making it out either way. Salt Lake City. Oh, oh. She did say she was going to make it slow, so you can't exactly have him bleeding out. It's actually not as much as I thought it was going to be. That was my dad. Oh, she actually said exactly that. Hmm, he did stop a little bit. You can't exactly defend yourself. For militia group, they don't really seem to have a stomach for what they're doing. Unfortunately, not everyone. It's interesting that he doesn't even try to explain himself. Okay, one of them seemed to have the stomach for it. Um, the guy who played Falcon, I don't know his name, but he he was not along. Meanwhile, the other guy, not Isaac, that's the leader of the WLF. It's the one who sent them there. I think that she's only using one hand. And this was the whole, what I said in the last episode. The problem with taking it slow with someone like Joel, where so many people care about him, is it gives him a chance for someone to show up. Well, guess what, Abby? Now you're exactly like Joel. And guess what? 19. At least I think she's 19 in this. Was she 12 in season 1? No, 14 in season 1, and then the 5 years later would be. She did break the golf club. your pursuit of revenge, you became the very thing that you swore to destroy. I was expecting a boot to the face, but I didn't realize this was such a cycle of violence. Like Joel comes in, kills her dad when she's 19. She sees the dead body, goes after Joel, kills Joel in front of his 19-year-old daughter figure. She sees the body, except at least with the doctor, it was a simple one bullet to the head, straight dead, not beaten to an inch in the life and then stabbed right in front of her. She didn't even notice Dina was in the room. I didn't know Dina was in the room in the game. I don't actually know if she is in the game. I thought so. When I read the title of this episode, Through the Valley, I thought Through the Valley of a Shadow of Death. And there would be, I've still not remembered his name. What do they do with the other two horses? So, like I said, I knew that happened. It's oh, I don't know why it's come up with the next episode button, but there's definitely more after. Yeah, I knew that happened, and well, it would have had a lot more impact had I not. Just double checking. It definitely is that like a next time, or is it just like screwing up the? Okay, I'm guessing that's not this. I thought there was more. I thought there was an after credit thing, but because there was still so much left. No, that seemed like a preview and a behind the scenes thing. Okay, never mind. That would have. I did not realize it was so. Like, I knew she beat him with a golf club to death. I didn't know that she beat him so hard she broke the golf club, then just wailed at him, obviously with the broken club by the marks on his face, and then beat him with her fist, and then just stabbed him in the neck with the broken shaft. I also didn't realize that it happened simultaneously with the siege on Jackson. Like, we knew from the trailers that there was going to be a horde attacking Jackson. Well, at least I did. I don't know if that happened in the game. Considering neither Joel nor Ellie were there, I'm going to guess not. Or maybe it happened off screen. Because Joel, Ellie, and Dina were all away from Jackson. I don't think Tommy's ever a playable character. Or at least I've never heard of him being, so yeah, I'm guessing that must happen off screen if it happens at all. But I did let slip in the last episode that Abby does meet up with Joel and makes it slow. I did try to like save it a little because she's like, we do it slowly. When we find him, we kill him slowly, and I'm like, yeah, they do. And then I tried the whole play it off with, but the problem with doing it slowly is with someone like Joel who has a lot of people who care about him, it gives them time to find him. So I tried to play it off as like, well, they catch him, they try to kill him slowly, but well, someone finds him and stops him. That obviously not the case. And yeah, it was a fucking wild episode. I was not expecting so much to happen. Like I said multiple times, I was expecting Joel's death to be episode 3. Like they said, this second game, The Last of Us Part 2, is spanning over at least 2, possibly 3 seasons. And they did the entirety of The Last of Us 1 in 1 season. So they have time to let things breathe. So, let's say the things from the snow rise up, chase Abby's group in that into Jackson. We get some of the patrol in the snowstorm. They converge back on Jackson just as the horde is arriving, chasing Abby's group. Then they're coming in from opposite ends. During all the chaos of the horde trying to defend Jackson and deal with the invasion and everything, you've got these two groups trying to make their way through the city. Somehow they cross paths. They don't know it. Like in this, they don't know it's Joel until they hear someone call out Joel's name, and then suddenly Joel's got an attack on 2 fronts. He's got the Abby's group hunting him while he's also defending the town, and sort of like how Tommy and the bloater got separated, Joel and Abby get separated. That's how I thought this went. And no, it's just these 2 tragic events just happen to coincide. Like, Abby has no interaction with Jackson at all. Like, that was surprising. like, obviously, I know Abby made it out of everything. I also know that, well, I knew that they got caught by Ellie. And I thought that Ellie coming in and seeing it made Abby just pull out a gun and quick shoot Joel to make it so that she couldn't be stopped. And a part of her realized in Ellie's reaction that what she was doing is exactly what Joel did. A part of her realized that. You could see it on the actress's face. Like, I don't know her name, but you could see on her face that dawning realization of, oh shit, this guy has a daughter, about 19, and I'm taking him from her in a much more brutal way. Like, even without words, even without showing any, like, active body signs, just straight face acting. You could read that in her expression. But also, one, Joel was going to die anyway. There's no way he wouldn't have succumbed to those words. Two, even if Joel did survive, he knew who they were. Ellie doesn't. Dina doesn't. So, that just means that if he survived, he could tell them at the very least. So she needed to take him out. And also, her need for revenge would not allow her to let him die to anything but her hand. So, all of that converged in her still having to carry out the action. Even if a part of it was no longer for revenge, but instead for mercy, she still had to do it. In her eyes, at least. And you could see all that confliction in the scenes that we saw. Yes, she did still go with a potentially not immediately fatal way. Like, if she'd have stabbed and missed, what, was she going to stab again? Or was she just going to leave him with the golf club in his neck to choke on his own blood? I don't know. The one who plays Falcon in in Brave New World, Danny Ramirez. One, I liked how he called Joe Pendejo, which is interesting because you've got two Latin American actors just using. What is that? Is that Spanish? I know it translates to like asshole or something. Pendejo. Apparently, if you just Google it with dictionary, it says stupid or contemptible person, origin Spanish, pendejo, literally, pubic hair. But if you put it into Google Translate, it comes up with like asshole, something like that. But the fact that he decided to speak in Spanish and cuss him out as he was leaving, because like I said, he was the only one of that group that was on board with what Abby was doing. Oh yeah, it's not asshole. If you put it through Google Translate Spanish, the immediate one that it comes up with is stupid. You also got coward. You've got Burke, which I'm not quite familiar with what that means. Or you've got motherfucker. I'm going to assume it was motherfucker that he was meaning. What does Burke mean? A stupid person. Okay. But, yeah. This was a lot heavier an episode than I was expecting. Even coming into it knowing that this was the episode that Joel got beaten to death. And I am interested because there was a lot of people I saw. One say that Pedro was the only reason they watched the show, and to see him die in episode 2 meant they were dropping it. I don't understand people like that, but I saw a lot of people regarding the game say that Abby killing Joel made them hate her. Like, did we not get, like, any time with her prior to Joel's death in the game to, like, humanize her? Like, was all that stuff, spoiler warning, by the way, was all that stuff after the fact? Because, like, I know a part of the game is you play as Abby. And you're actually going against Ellie. And I know that comes later, but was any, like, humanizing element of Abby, like the whole, it was her father that he executed, like, just stone cold executed. Medical officer, unarmed, surrendered. That's 3 war crimes. Well, I'm not quite sure where like, how they rank compared to war crime. Like, medical staff is usually a no-go grey area at the minimum to war crime at the maximum. Then you've got the executing unarmed people. That is considered a war crime. Severity depends on extenuating circumstances. Executing a surrendering opponent is a big one. But yeah, so, like, did we not know that that was Abby's dad in the game? At least until later? I don't know. But anyway, I cannot understand Abby's entire deal. Like, this did not make me hate her. Would coming into it blind have made me dislike a character? I'd say probably not, because I'd still, just from this, understand her motive, because I don't have any of her motive from the game. Whether it's the same or different, I don't know what it is. And just, yeah, seeing Joel's side of the story in season 1, knowing his reasons for doing it, is almost the opposite of what, no, not the opposite, but it's on the same line of he's doing this horrible thing to save the one person he cares about, and she's doing this horrible thing because the one person she cared about was taken from her by Joel. Like, 2 sides of the same coin, and yet people say they love Joel after the first game, and yet they hate Abby for getting understandable retribution. I don't understand it. But anyway, interestingly, the next episode, which is already out, is only rated M, whereas the first 2 episodes were MA. Who knows? But we're gonna be dealing with the fallout of their return to Jackson, seeing what happened there, and bringing Joel's body. So, on that happy note, I'll catch you in the next one.